I don't really know what to say, but this is absolutely spectacular. Mountains in the distance with the snow. You have Death Valley with the dry lake bed. All the mountains, the sun setting, the clouds, the blue skies, all mixed together. While Sasha was visiting Russia, I got to spend my time traveling around the western United States. I spent the vast majority of my time camped out on BLM land, mostly in the desert. I made my way up through California, visited a few national parks, enjoyed a lot of beautiful sunsets. I experienced a wide variety of landscapes and climates, and discovered an entirely new level of solitude and isolation. But before I got to go on my solo adventure, I had to wait for the warranty repairs to be completed on our truck. So let me take you back to just before Sasha left. Sasha was flying out of LAX in Los Angeles, and we need to get the truck repaired there as well. So we booked a 2-week stay in the town of Fillmore at a campground called Kenny Grove Park. I was raking and I cut off a salamander tail by accident, and I couldn't figure out what this thing was moving around, but apparently it's its tail, and it stays active for quite a while. I've never seen anything like that. I was just raking through and this thing popped out at me and I saw a salamander run away with no tail. Crazy. This campground was nestled in amongst all the mountains. There was streams, and there was a lot of citrus farms. Neither Sasha or I have ever seen this many citrus farms in one area. The only experience we've had with it in the past is down in Florida, where we saw the occasional orange grove. But as we drove across Southern California, we saw dozens and dozens of these citrus farms peppered across the landscape. For the last few months, Sasha and I have been watching our mileage closely since we had to get the truck into the dealership for some warranty work before it expired at 36,000 miles. Because of this restriction in mileage, I wasn't able to bring Sasha to the airport when she left. However, I reserved just enough mileage to get it to the dealership. I didn't record it, but I had about 25 miles left on the truck before it hit 36,000, so our timing was perfect. The truck was going in for a recall on the drag link, a worn-out track bar, and some whistling door gaskets, which were getting pretty annoying. So I dropped the truck off, the dealership called Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and they came and picked me up.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
I was looking for any window cracks as well.
So you're actually pretty lenient with the dents and stuff.
Yeah, this is our entire thing. If it's smaller than that circle right here, we don't care.
Oh, cool. All right. Alright, the truth is, I didn't do any of this. I tried to drive down to Beverly Hills and then make my way down to the beach, and the traffic was absolutely insane. The driving situation was so slow and frustrating, I decided to completely skip Los Angeles. I spent the remaining week and a half at the campground and riding my bike around Fillmore. It was much more relaxing than LA. All the rumors about LA traffic are 100% true. Okay. Relax. I was out on a bike ride and I saw a bird trapped somehow. Later I realized that he was wrapped up in some fishing string. My plan was to wrap him up in my sweatshirt and cut the string off with some scissors. Okay, little guy, I got you. I'm gonna get you out of here. He was pretty calm given the situation. I assume he was exhausted from trying to free himself. Stay still. I also got the feeling that he knew I was there to help and didn't fight me at all. Well, you're all tangled up, huh? No biting. Yep, stay still. I almost got you free. You're doing really well. I couldn't believe how calm he stayed. Okay, you got it wrapped around there again. No, you can't fly yet. Just stay relaxed. He was grabbing my fingers through the sweatshirt, and I could feel whenever he was tense. Fortunately, I can't see anything with all your feathers. Looks like you are gonna need a little haircut. The string was wrapped around his legs, wing, and neck. And I was having a really hard time figuring out where it was because of all of the feathers. Boy, you got yourself really tied up. I was using my sweatshirt to protect myself from any possible diseases and any bites. Oh, you're so patient. The entire process took me about 30 minutes and involved me pulling back a lot of his feathers to find where the string was. I had to find each knot and cut it free. Each cut brought us one step closer to him flying away. Until finally, he was free. So Sasha's in Russia now. I've been at this campground in Fillmore, California. It's been really nice. I've been here for 2 weeks. Today is the day I have to leave. And it's been really good because it's a nice private spot on a hill. When I back the camper in, I have this nice private area behind the camper where no one can see me. We're surrounded by trees. We have this little building on the side, which was actually really nice. It gave me something to lean the bikes against, and it offered some shade. It's obviously older, from the 60s. I think this is the garden shed. They keep all their tools in it. I really liked it here. I will definitely come back if we're ever out here. It's close enough to the city that you can get everything you need. And the town of Fillmore has, groceries and all of your basics, so that was really good. It's been a beautiful place. I'm gonna miss this place, but I'm also looking forward to getting out of California. Gas prices have been going up. Diesel's averaging about $4.20 a gallon. I'm excited to be back on the road. This is gonna be my first time traveling in the camper alone, and I got about 2,500 miles to go. I'm gonna head out now. I left the town of Fillmore and made the 4 or 5 hour drive up towards Sequoia National Park. Specifically, the entrance on General's Highway. Alright, so I'm pretty excited about this one. I am going to be doing the Sequoia National Park and taking the road, I think it's called Sherman's Road or Highway 198. It's pretty twisty and windy. I just went through the entrance and I talked to the guy. There's a 22-foot and a 24-foot restriction based on the road that you drive on, but it's not really a restriction. It's more of a suggestion, and he said the real restriction comes in at 40 feet. So I had been posting on Facebook asking people if they were able to make it with their truck campers, and I talked to a guy. He has a bigger rig than I do. He has a Host Mammoth, and he said he made it no problem. So I wasn't too worried about it. And then I just talked to the park ranger, and he said, yeah, it's no problem. He said the biggest issue is other people coming the other way that might be terrified, who are like driving on the yellow line. So I love driving twisty mountain roads, and then this is possibly maybe the twistiest road I've driven in a national park. We've been on some real doozies in like New Hampshire actually, and West Virginia, Kentucky. some crazy, crazy mountain roads. I don't think this will even compare to those. However, it's Saturday morning and the traffic is picking up. So I think there's gonna be a lot of people, and I wanted to do this yesterday, but I got here too late. Pulled over on the side of the road. You can see down there. So according to the map, I've driven past the worst of it and it was really fine. It's tight in certain areas, but they make it pretty easy to drive. I love driving mountain roads, so I'm not super concerned with it. And I would say, unless you're over 30 feet, you'd be fine coming up here. Fantastic drive up here, really, really beautiful. Might even have to drive back through here. This is my current view right now. Pretty spectacular. I feel like I'm on a different planet. Certainly not something I'm used to in New England. All right, I'm gonna keep going. We're entering the giant forest. Wow, these are gigantic, and they just start. They go from normal trees, normal like alpine zone trees, to these enormous, unlike anything I've ever seen. Yep, impressed. I'm impressed. Yep, well worth the drive. I can't wait to stop and get out and walk around them and touch them. Oh, they have a restriction, nothing over 22 feet in the parking lot. I'm just gonna turn around. Can I just turn around?
Yeah, you can turn around.
I assume this sounds like all the lots are full.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
No problem. What an amazing place. Sasha and I tried to do this a couple weeks ago before she left for Russia, and I kind of didn't want to come back here without her, but you always run the risk that this might be the only time we ever come out here. But I figured since I was so close, I would come do it without her. Sorry, honey. She's not gonna really care. She's having fun in Russia. So how many of you campers out there have a diesel truck with an exhaust brake? What do you think of it? I love my exhaust brake. Just gives you a sense of control and confidence. Sounds cool. So there's some people standing in front of the tree, and that will give you a sense of scale. See, all these parking spots are taken. One problem with having a rather large vehicle is parking is a little more challenging. All right, Sherman tree parking, take a right. About a half-mile walk down, and we're at 7,000 feet, so the air is a little thin. It's a beautiful paved walkway. The overwhelming smell is of that pine, that alpine pine smell. Absolutely love it. So General Sherman's pretty impressive. It's big. There's a few trees around it that are maybe half the size. I guess it's the largest tree by volume and maybe by weight. It's not the tallest. but it is definitely huge. Unfortunately, it's all fenced off. I couldn't get really anywhere near it. That tree is definitely an anomaly. It is just huge. Some people were nice enough to take my picture because it's hard to do that stuff without Sasha here. Alright, so that was cool. I'm gonna just continue on my way. I might try to make it to King's Landing, King's something. It is 1:30, so I still have some time. Not sure if I'm gonna make it. Lots of cool roads to drive. I really enjoy the driving, the scenery, and going to see General Sherman was impressive. I don't know what anything is. I'm very unprepared. Normally while I'm driving, Sasha's reading stuff, and it's making me really appreciate the service that she provides with all of that. While I'm driving, I can't stop easily, especially on this road, to read what I'm doing, and I have no cell service, so while I'm out doing stuff, can't Google anything, but it's kind of nice to just explore without knowing what I'm doing. That's partly what I'm trying to do with my life anyway. It takes all the excitement out if you know everything. So it would appear that I'm starting the descent. It's getting steeper, but the road's nice and wide. It's not nearly as technical as the way up, but I can't imagine not having an exhaust brake now. I just downshift and use the exhaust brake. I play around with it all the time. I love it. I really enjoy driving with it. Now I just need a Jake brake, but that's gonna be a different vehicle. All right, I'm leaving Sequoia National Park. I think the next thing is called Kings Canyon. Let me make sure. Yes. Kings Canyon. If anything, I'm enjoying the drive. I really like driving anything, but specifically this truck and camper, I like driving it through the mountains. It's very enjoyable. Boy, look at those giants. Definitely looks like something out of a movie or storybook. Massive trees. Covered in pine cones too. I really wish I could get up close to one.
अभी वो दोनों साइड पैर रख के खड़े हो जाओ। हाँ, ऐसा ऊपर। हाँ। कुछ नहीं होगा, केना तू तो कर। There you go.
So I finally found this tree that's right on the side of the road that I can easily walk down into. So this thing is absolutely massive. Crazy. Love this. All right, well, I think that's it. I'm exiting the park now. This has been a really, really beautiful drive. Much better than what I had envisioned. I'm just descending now past 6,000 feet. Some really amazing driving. I know I keep saying it, but I still love driving on all of these roads. When Sasha comes back and we make it back out to California, we are definitely gonna have to come back here because I'd like her to see this. So after striking out a few times, I decided to come stay at this casino. Casinos we've found have actually been really nice. They're safe, usually very quiet, free, they don't bother you. We've been using them more often. I kind of wanted to go camp in the woods, but it's another like 45 minutes. I'm tired, I needed to get fuel, and I also discovered this. We've had this little box secured on the wall for 1.5 years, and I guess it finally decided to come free, along with all of our other stuff. So I'm gonna put all that together. I'm gonna mop up the water, because it had about a half a jug in there. Luckily, it doesn't really hurt the floor. Oh well. All right, so I realize now that it probably wasn't that letting go. It's because this was open. And I think this fell out, my pot, and landed on that, which was holding this, and then everything else came down. So luckily it was just water. There was no no soap or anything like that fell. So minimal damage. The vast majority of the water landed on our rugs, and those are drying. And this is my view out the back door. Can't really beat that, can you? I love it. You can stay here up to 5 days, and I may end up staying for an extra night. I have a lot of work to do, have to make a video, and then I want to go into Yosemite, but I don't actually want to go to Yosemite. It's just that I need to get back to Death Valley, and that's one of the only ways to get over there is through Yosemite. I really want to save that when Sasha comes back so we can do it together, because that's a pretty impressive place, but I may have to stop and take a few pictures. So nice long day, got to do a lot of stuff, do some hiking, saw those amazing trees. I finally got to touch one. The bark is super strange. It flakes off, it's very soft. Not really sure what that's all about, but I liked it. It was very fuzzy. So really, thank you for watching, and please let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please consider liking and maybe subscribing. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.